Patty and Tracy. Our guest, Eric Deters, Bulldog. How are you?
I'm doing good, fellas. How are you guys?
Bulldog, can I throw something out at you? And I apologize because I'm going to go into my shallow radio character. But how about...
I love your shallow radio character.
Well, I've been told to tone it down, so I got to tone it down. But just for a second here, how about Melania Trump? Is that the prettiest woman you've ever seen? She is flawless. Perfect.
Well, you know, I'm going to rate them. My wife, and then Melania, maybe number two.
You ain't a dumb man.
Hey, she sported a new hairdo last night. She did her hair differently. But you know what I think about? I use the word elegant with Melania.
Yes,
I think she's classy and elegant.
Yeah.
You know who, talk about a look.
Sorry, Tracy, I'm not going any. I thought I got
How about, no, but before we get into the nuts and bolts
Who
of
is she
things,
wearing?
talking about last night, talk about a look. Nancy Pelosi. But
She's wearing white pants, wasn't she?
I just the look on her face. She looks like a character out of a comic book or something. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. And how about this, guys? We have all these major problems to solve that Trump wants to solve and make America great again. And these Democratic women led by Nancy Pelosi get together and say, hey, let's all dress in white.
Right.
And show up together, all dressed in white. Something like, and then do a thumbs down. I mean, it's so sophomoric and petulant,
Brutal.
and it's the reason why our country's screwed up. They were in charge.
Yeah, especially wearing those white pants. There's a whole other story there.
That's a different
But you know what?
You don't know what that's code for?
Yeah, I do.
Then once you told you had to clean your act up, Tracy.
People don't know what the hell I'm talking about. 99% about. Let me just say this. I've never felt so positive about this country under the control
Right.
of not control, but being the presidency of Donald Trump. And
Right.
obviously, the stock market feels the same way, up over 300 points, 21,000. Now remember, the stock market is a forward-looking mechanism, so it's kind of anticipating the future, and the future,
Right.
according to the stock market, I'm not saying it's always right, but looks pretty good.
Right, and not only that, when you reference the stock market, and since his election, we've gained $3 trillion in value, and what that means is the people that hold that, whoever they are, the companies, the individuals, so forth and so on, that's just a bunch more capital available to do things with. I mean, it matters, but it's also reflective of what's to come. I mean, it's just, and when you think about the vision that he painted, the funniest moment. My favorite part of the speech was Harley Davidson's story, but I love the fact that he tells everybody out there, and it's just like radio, you know how you each speak to the individual listener. You're not speaking to the crowd. When he asked everybody to dream your dream and go for it, and this is America, and he was talking to everybody out there and say, hey, this is great. And when you think about his agenda that he laid out, I don't know how any rational person could be against anything he said.
And he did such a great job of sticking to the teleprompter, stuck on point, and when he does that, he's fabulous.
And the tone was right, the heart was right, the words were right. Yep. And how about this being received? You know it was a really good speech when that friend of yours, Mr. Madow, and others have to actually admit that it was a great speech.
What did Mr. Madow say? I missed that on MSNBC. What did he have to say?
He said America will receive this speech very well. I mean, that's what he said.
So and we're talking to Eric Deters, the Bulldog. And Bulldog, I'm going to say what I said to Trace earlier. You know, obviously his advisors were like, look, this is big. This is a really big speech. Come on, man.
Right.
There's a lot on the line, right? And he did it, and he hit a home run. Let's face it, he did. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. But at the same time, what he needs to get his ear to some of those guys who are going to tell him, put the tweet machine down.
What did he do? He did what did he do?
I know he did it. But I'm just saying, just stay away from it, man. Just stay away from it.
Here's another thing about that speech last night that cracked me up. Is some of the things that he would say that the Democrats weren't capable of applauding for. Like saying he wants to rid the world of radical Islamic terrorism wasn't enough for the Democrats.
No, it wasn't, was it? Yeah.
I mean, job creation. Nope, not enough. I mean, what's it take for the Democrats to stand up and clap? At least they stood up and clapped for the widow. But other than that, they weren't capable of standing up and clapping. But it was a home run speech, right? You're right, Eddie. And I think it shows that he did listen to those people.
No, that's what I'm saying. It totally did, yeah.
You know what I didn't hear enough about the tax breaks for individuals and corporations. He didn't hit that hard.
Well, I think that's coming this. He says it's coming this month. He says tax return and Obamacare is coming. How about the hard? This is reflective though of Trump. I was talking to Chuck about this today, my buddy. This is interesting. Harley Davidson. He tells a funny story. Harley Davidson comes there. They put the 5 Harleys out on the lawn, and they asked him to take a ride, and he said, "No, thank you."
Right.
Well, that's indicative of a lot here. Trump's a billionaire, but yet he can connect to people, and why? Because he's honest about himself.
Yeah,
he's not a phony. He didn't put on the act and say, "Oh, let me try to get on this Harley Davidson and look like a buffoon," or anything like that. And then they say, "We're used to this 100% tariff when we try to export these things, so we're just used to it, and we've kind of given up." And he says, "No, I'm going to fight for you on that." And that just shows that Trump has got credibility because people can bash him all they want. Trump is at least honest about himself and what he is and who he is and what he wants to do. And that is what appealed to the American people when they voted for him.
I can't agree with you more. You know what? The only thing I kind of fault, the speech, just a little bit. I would have liked a little bit more humor. And I thought, and I can tell you, I got goosebumps a lot during the speech, but I thought it was a little long. I thought it was like 10 minutes too long.
I thought it was pretty long, too.
I did, too. It's just that last leg was like, okay, I got it. I'll run through a wall for you. I got it.
Here's another thing that Trump does very well that drives the Democrats insane. I thought Elizabeth Warren was going to stroke when the Democrat in front of her, I think it was Tim Kaine, stood up and clapped on something.
I know.
But it's driving me is he has that bully pulpit. He's the president. 50 million people watching last night. And just like it drove me nuts that Obama had that bully pulpit and there was nothing we could do, that he could go do what it... But Trump uses that spotlight, that stage, that bully pulpit, and it's driving the Democrats nuts. I mean, this is hilarious. Yesterday, he signed an executive order relating to family leave, female issues, and everything else. And he's had union workers in there. It's almost like the Democrats are like, "What's he doing? He's stealing all of our voters.
Wait a minute.
What are we going to do?"
Yesterday morning, he signed like 4 executive orders. I saw it. We were off, and I'm sitting there watching Fox, and he's just going from one meeting, whether it's the black colleges that he was signing off on something. I mean, I'm thinking, don't you take a nap? Don't you eat lunch? Right. I mean, a man your age, it's like Marty Brennaman has to take 3 naps a day. Doesn't Trump? They're the same age.
Can you imagine how the Democrats cringe when they have an African-American young woman who made it through a charter school and is making something with her life, and he projects that? They're sitting there. The Democrats are like, "Oh, I can't believe he's doing that."
Damn you.
All right, Bulldog, we got to get going. Eric Deters, hey. Those TV spots, I tell you what, man, you can't get away from you.
By the way, I'm meeting with your guy. We're going to start doing some spots on your radio station too.
Is that right?
Yeah. Hey guys,
who's your spokesperson? You're not going to be another one of those let Willie do it kind of guys, are you?
No. In fact, I'm insisting on doing it myself. Hell with Willie.
Hell with Willie.
All right, buddy.
See you guys.
Thanks, Bulldog.
Eric Deters. Now you watch and see. Willie will horn his way into this.